Well, this is embarrassing. I didn't really want to make a video like this, but had a little problem happen while I was working on this old Cummins here. As you can see, I was putting the injection lines on, getting ready to put it back together. Had a bolt fall in the intake, and it just so happened to go down into the cylinder with one of the valves open. I have fished with a magnet, I have fished with grabbers, and there just ain't no way for me to get it out. So I guess this is a great excuse to make a video on how to pull a head on this Cummins, because that's what we're going to be doing today. Hey y'all, let's go ahead and get this tear down. Let's go ahead and start it off. Yes, it is another sped up video with a voiceover. I still haven't gotten too accustomed to talking in front of a camera, and when I do, I just yap and yap and yap. Need to work on that. Anyways, first thing we're working on is the turbo feed line and exhaust bolts for the turbo. They're still loose from doing mock-up and ensuring everything fit before the final assembly. I'm telling y'all, doing this job felt like a giant slice of cold, humble pie. Having to do all of this made me pretty embarrassed, because I'm supposed to be a decent mechanic, but I'm out here keeping holes opened up and letting stuff get down into them. This kind of stuff reminds me to not forget the basics and fundamentals. Nevertheless, best believe I'm taking notes on what not to do next time. Anywho, back to the teardown. We have gone and pulled the fuel return lines off the injectors, and now we are turning our focus to the fuel filter housing. We're going to remove the two banjo bolts that are on top, the one that runs from the fuel housing to the injection pump, and the one that takes the fuel return line and the line from the actual mechanical pump. And we're going to be taking those out, and we're going to be taking the line, your return line, we're going to be taking that off, and the filter housing off. The other lines we're going to leave there. Let me go in and adjust the camera here so y'all can kind of see the accessory drive. I'll be removing the belt and then begin to remove the alternator bracket bolts. We're only going to be removing the upper bracket after we take the belt off. This bracket bolts to the head. It needs to be disconnected so you don't have extra weight sitting there trying to pull and hang up on you while you're trying to take this head off. You know, watching this over and going through and editing it, it really makes me kind of question, maybe I do need to invest and get myself one of them electric ratchets, because, you know, it's kind of funny. It's also kind of sad listening to me just sit there and turn that ratchet like crazy. Once we got all that situated and out of the way, let's go ahead and get these valve covers off. Can somebody tell me why I'm not using an impact? Like, do I really feel like it is that necessary to use a ratchet on everything? Like, I understand, I'm trying to prove a point. Like, you don't have to go and spend the money and go and buy an impact or go buy a drill or buy one of them fancy electric ratchets like I so probably need to get. But, oh well, I digress. Now that we have those valve covers off and in a safe place, I'm going to go ahead and loosen up all these rocker bolts and then go ahead and take them out and put them up in a bolt bin. Make sure we don't lose them. Y'all, well, as y'all can see, next thing we're going to be starting on is we're going to be loosening up them injector hold down nuts. It's bad placement of the camera, guys. I'm telling y'all, I finally adjusted, but I didn't mean for y'all to have to look at my back that entire time. These injectors, as y'all can see, they're coming out fairly easy. Now, whenever I pulled the old ones, it wasn't that bad of a job. But anyways, You'll see I'm kind of taking my time with it. Taking them over there 2x2, making sure I don't get anything out of order. I'm sending it out on the table to bag up later, just because I don't want to get it out of order. Anyways, next thing that we're doing, as y'all can see, I'm sitting there having to run back and forth to a toolbox trying to find that 16mm for them head studs. Next thing we're going to be working on is trying to get these head studs loose. Guys, I'm telling y'all, that poor ratchet, all it is just a 3/8 cobalt ratchet that I got probably about 6 years ago, and I ain't pulled no teeth on it. I ain't done anything like that. I'm very, very surprised. Man, that ratchet has lasted me jobs. That ratchet right there has lasted past relationships. I'm telling y'all, it's been a trooper. The only problem I've ever had out of it was that bolt that goes in the side for the flex that comes out every once in a while. But once again, guys, for some reason, I decided to do this with a ratchet, and I kept it sped up. I didn't bring that down. I was sitting there talking smack about how I was able to get them bolts out. But y'all see, I'm not really doing this with a certain pattern or anything like that. It's a cast iron head. Cast iron heads usually have a less chance of warping from, taking it loose out of sequence. I went and done some looking around, making sure, because last thing I want to do after getting all this block and head work done is warping the head and having to do more work. But oh well, I digress. More thing I probably should have done is should have gone and run them out. I'm just wasting so much time spinning these all out by hand, but I'm making sure that I put them down one by one, making sure I put them in the right spot, because I want to make sure I have all my bolts, keep track of all my bolts and my nuts and my washers, because I am not hunting anything after this job. I am not hunting anything down. I am burnt out on hunting stuff down, I'm telling y'all. But y'all see I missed a couple bolts, but let's get it. Alright guys, that's all the head bolts taken off, or all the stud nuts taken off. I'm going to take these washers off. I'm going to rig up my cherry picker. I could pick this up, I'm just not going to. I don't want to get caught in an awkward position. So we're going to take these washers off. I'm going to put them in a secure spot. And take these rockers off. I'm going to put them numbered. I don't have to, because these are all brand new. These are all brand new assemblies, brand new exhausts, intake rockers, pedestals, all 9 yards. But we're going to put them in order anyways. It's like I did with the injectors. Injectors are brand new, but we're going to put them all in order anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll be ready to pull his head off. Let's get to it. Alright, y'all. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take everything off, make sure I put it in the secure location. I just got a little metal bolt band that I'm putting all these in. I've got one for the left side and one for the right side, so you don't get everything mixed up. But man, I'm telling you, I'm feeling the heat about this time. I'm soaked down, and it wasn't too fun. It was pretty rough, but oh well, we still got her done. But now we're going to go ahead and move over to the other side. I'm taking these pedestals off, and like I said previously, I'm putting these in order from 1 to 6. They don't have to be. I feel like it'd be better. And I'm taking these push rods out like I'm going to put them back in. But as y'all will hear later in the video, I decided not to. I'm gonna be getting new push rods, and that's what we're waiting on right now to finish rebuilding it. Is waiting on new push rods to come in. But let's go and rig up this engine hoist. You know, I always come on, buddy, come on, move the camera, move the camera. There you go, there you go. But I always find it best getting like a little piece of wood or something like that and roll them smaller casters on there. It makes it so much easier putting them legs in. You ain't having to sit there and pick it up and fight it whole 9 yards. It just ain't no fun, I'm telling y'all. But let's go ahead and get it rigged up. Go ahead and get it in place. And then I messed around with the strap a little bit, but I wound up not using it. I actually went and found myself my chain, my special chain I always used to rig up engines like this, and go ahead and get it rigged up as tight as I can, because I'm not really sure how high this cherry picker goes. I always forget. But let's go ahead and get her in place and get her hooked up real quick. You know, one thing that y'all are about to see, I probably should have gone and taken the head studs out. I made sure not to bend any. It just made it an absolute pain trying to get that head off. Y'all see me running back and forth, trying to make sure it's not stuck. And it's a little stuck, but all it took was just a little pry with that pry bar and it popped right on off. But it would have made it so much easier if I would have just taken the studs out. You know. Guys, I want to say this is even, I think this might even be more embarrassing. I don't even know if I want to show this. Tell me where the bolt is. Hiding. Hiding. It's like I didn't even need to pull the head. Didn't need to. I have scrounged around that head. I thought it sounded like the bolt had fallen down into the cylinder. You could hear it, and I looked all around this thing. I couldn't find anything, but I found it. But let's clean it up and put this head back on, guys. Oh, well, we're on the final stretch. As y'all can see, I'm going in and cleaning my maintenance services. I've already gone and cleaned the block. Now I'm going and cleaning the head, making sure everything's clean before I go and set it back down. I've got a fresh head gasket on there. But y'all about to see, y'all about to witness why I really should have gone and taken them studs out. And I thought it was, you know, kind of inconvenient going and, you know, taking the head off with them. But going and setting the head on with them like this with that cherry picker, but it ain't no fun. But, oh well, I still get it. It wasn't too bad, but it was still more annoying than it should have been. I'm telling you, this heat just does not give me good ideas, and it don't help nothing, I'm telling y'all. But we got her down. And we're going to go ahead and set the rockers and the valve covers and all that back on. Just cover up them holes, and then I'm going to go and take the intake off and make sure we don't have anything empty, open to atmosphere or anything like that. I don't show it in the video, but I also go and cover up the injector holes and all that until I'm able to get push rods to be able to go in and torque everything down. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and finish her off here. Now, y'all might be asking, well, why didn't you put the push rods in? Why are you ending it here? What are you doing? What I'm doing is, you know, I've replaced everything in the top end, replaced everything in the bottom end. The only thing I haven't replaced is the push rods. And being that I've already taken the head off and I've already undone the valves and all that, I think it's about time that I go ahead and get some ordered. I mean, I've got 5K Governor Springs in this thing, and I don't want to bend a push rod because they say that stock push rods are known to bend whenever you start pushing more horsepower and higher RPMs. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cover this up and get this ready for whenever it's time to, whenever I get them in. But anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here with me as I go through all this. But till next time, guys.